Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lucky me, I am here today with Marion, who got up early because she is in New Zealand to talk to us right now about VA school. And we were just chit chatting a little bit beforehand. And we're talking about that we miss each other because we got to spend so much time in VA school. And we're a little sad that we're not spending as much time together now. But Marion, so tell me, what was it that got you to sign up for VA school? Like, what was the thing that you thought, oh, I want that?
It was your personality. That's the main thing, because I have been following you for quite a while before I joined. I think I've done 2 or 3 of the challenges. And I think the thing that really got me the most was that you were saying in all of your talks, conversations, you don't have to have a niche or niche, depending on where you are, a niche. And I had done so many other challenges and courses and all that, and everybody really was fixated on niching down. And I really struggled with niching down because I believe I have a lot of different skills, and I really had a hard time niching down. So when I heard that, I said, yes.
Yeah. I know to me, choosing a niche before you've gotten out there is like fiction. It's like you're just kind of making it up. And I did that with another business that I started a long, long time ago. And I was like, this doesn't make sense, So it's interesting. So let's talk about your favorite things about VA school. Like, what was the thing that sort of surprised you the most, and the thing that you liked the most?
I liked, and it was surprising the most, that in between the ladies, there was no competition. It was community. It was, just ask that question, and everybody knows different people. Everybody knows, and I mean, for me specifically, because I'm in New Zealand, of course, but you all know different people, so you can ask the questions and you can give advice or ideas or whatever happens, and you don't have to be afraid, oh, she's stealing my client or something like that. You just don't. And I really appreciated that. I mean, yes, okay, I'm a little bit, because it's New Zealand, but having said that, in a previous business, I had most of my clients were in America. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think the whole competition thing is a mindset. It comes from scarcity. And I think if we believe that there's enough for everybody, there is enough for everybody,
and you are a big advocate of that. I realized that over the time, and yes, there is enough.
Yeah, there's more than enough. Really. There's more than enough. So talk about the support. How did that feel? What kind of support were you able to get in the study halls and the program as well?
Basically same. You can ask questions, and you can be sure, absolutely sure, someone will answer. If it's you or one of the other ladies, doesn't really matter. Someone will answer. And I mean, I was probably one who didn't ask a lot of questions because certain things I did know, but it was really, really good to refresh, to see it from a little bit of a different perspective, and yeah. So that's
awesome.
Good.
Good. And so let's talk about the VA lifestyle. Like, how does that work for you? Because I know you like to garden and you like to do home improvement things and you like to be outside. And so how does that all sort of flow together for you?
Very nicely. In short, very nicely. Okay, like for instance, this whole last week, we had horrible weather, absolutely treacherous weather. So, okay, I sit at the computer, I do a little bit of client work there and a little bit of working on the business, like newsletter creation and all these kind of things. but I know when the weather is fine again, when I can go outside again, I can arrange that into my day. So I know, okay, in the morning I do some work. Then when it's warm enough, I go outside in the garden, and then I come back. I mean, you have deadlines, so you obviously have to keep them. But
Mhm.
I love it. I just love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So talk to me a little bit about, I think about, did you have fears going into VA school, and how has attending VA school and graduating, how has that impacted your confidence?
Um, I'm more confident now because I know, at least in theory, what to do, what steps to take, and I mean, I'm not sure what I can say, not to give too much away
Oh,
from
no,
VA
no, no. You can say anything you want. Yeah.
just a sprinkling, for instance. That is something I became more aware of, and even though I still resist it a little bit, I'm doing it still.
Mhm. Yeah, you
So
started your
what was the
newsletter,
question?
right? You started a newsletter. You became active
Oh,
on
yes.
social media. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the newsletter idea. I never, ever thought I would like it, and I
Hmm.
do like it.
Hmm.
So it is, because it makes, well, it makes me feel more confident, that I am able to talk about something I know about. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the right way to say it, but for instance, I know a lot about environment, and every second newsletter I talk about the environment, because I think that's a good thing that you can implement in the office. And it makes me proud that I do know something, and the newsletter gives me the option to do that, to
Hmm.
get my knowledge out there.
Hmm.
And
That's awesome. And the other thing that it does that surprised me is that, so if someone says, tell me, if they ask you something like, can you help me with my email inbox? And if I have written a newsletter about it, all of a sudden it's like, yes, I have thought that through. I know what the steps are, and I can
yeah.
sound like a rational human being versus, yeah, well, how would we do, that kind of
Yes.
thing. So I feel like it's made me smarter, and definitely able to talk about my business much more clearly without sort of panicking when a question
Yes.
gets
Yep.
asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
panicking part is a big part that I don't have anymore.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what are the next steps for you in your VA business?
Keep on doing what I'm doing. Keep on stepping it up, I guess, a little bit, because I'm very much an introvert, and even though I learned that the sprinkling, the connections, and all that, I know it, and I learned it, got it confirmed via the VA school. It needs to be done, and I'm always slacking off a little bit. So I guess that's something I just need to keep doing, and that is something with VA school, meeting twice a week. You
Hmm.
had that momentum going, and that's lost a little bit.
That's awesome.
You
Yeah.
have that momentum, and the encouragement and the examples from the others, which is amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, I have been so surprised, and your group in particular, really, like, you guys became friends in like 10 seconds. You guys were sticking up for each other and helping each other, and I just love that. I
Mhm.
love that. It just makes the whole thing so much more pleasurable, when we're doing it together and try to keep the chicken chatter under control and all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, definitely. Yeah. So
So
it was one of the. I mean, I'm not the youngest anymore, but it was one of the really good experiences, business wise and investment wise, or whatever you want to say it, name it. So it was really absolutely worth
good.
it.
Good, good, good. I'm glad. So if anybody was on the fence, they were apprehensive, or they thought it was too expensive, or they didn't want to invest in themselves, what would you say about that?
Well, you just said as one of the reasons didn't want to invest in themselves. I mean, if someone doesn't want to invest in themselves, I can't say anything.
Right.
But someone being on the fence and money-wise, it is an investment. It is an investment in your future, in your business. And I mean, if you have a brick and mortar business, you have to buy furniture. If you have to pay the power bill every month, etc., etc. It's one of those things. As a virtual assistant, you don't have these expenses, so you can spend the money on learning, on personal development. And I just did my taxes yesterday, so personal development.
All the
It's
things
fresh in my mind.
right.
It is. You do it in the end. You do it for yourself, and of course for your business. But I see it that I am my business,
Mm-hmm.
and so I do it for myself.
That's right. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming. And one of my wishes came true, and that is you said etc. because I love that German accent. Saying etc. There's like nothing like it. I was thinking about it in the before we came in here today. I was making a cup of tea, and I thought I shouldn't say anything and just see if she'll do it. You know, and you, so thank you. Right, everybody that's listening, it's so cool. Just like rolls off your tongue. It's really awesome. Well, thank you very much for sharing your story. Thank you for for giving us your time and getting up early, and all the things that you did to make this happen. Because I think it's important for women to see other women, in their lives, and how this can make a difference and their thoughts. Because I think there's a little bit of each of us in each of us, and so thank you for being the one to come
Thank
here
you.
today and do this. Yeah.
Thank
All right.
you very much. Thank you.
My pleasure. All right, everybody. I'll see you again in a few minutes. All right. Bye-bye.